One-point perspective. Linear perspective is a technique artists use to draw 3D space correctly. One-point perspective is used when an artist is looking directly at a 3D space and is attempting to draw it. An example, looking directly down a hallway, looking directly at a wall of a room, or looking down a city street as if you were standing in the middle, looking into the distance. In comparison, two-point perspective is when the artist is looking at the corner of the hallway, looking at the corner of the room, or looking at the corner of the city block. So our first step is to draw a line across the paper. This line is called the horizon line or the eye level line. It sets the viewer's eye level. Next, we're going to place a dot in the middle of the paper. This dot is called the vanishing point. Everything recedes to this point. Then we're going to draw a rectangle or square above the eye level line. And that's a funky square, I know, but it gets better. Then we're going to draw two more rectangles, one on the right side above the eye level line, and then we're going to do a third one below the eye level line. It's important to note that anything above the eye level line is above the viewer. Anything below the eye level line is below the viewer. So that's why I prefer to call it the eye level line, because it's setting where the viewer is looking in the drawing or the painting. Kind of fixing up these shapes here a little bit, squaring them up. Next, we'll connect the corners of our rectangles or squares to the vanishing point, like so. This is when we're going to start seeing the squares become prisms and cubes. So notice we didn't draw one of the corners, because if we would have done that fourth corner, it would have drawn through the front of the box. We never want to draw through the front of the box. Currently our boxes are going on into infinity and beyond. So what we need to do is close them up so they become enclosed boxes or prisms. These cutoff lines should be parallel to the edge of the square of the rectangle. So notice that vertical line is the same vertical line, and that horizontal line is at the same angle as the horizontal line of that cube. Or you can think of it as redrawing the angle of the cube to cut off the box. So if that's a right angle, our cutoff line should also be a right angle. And then I'm going to use an eraser, clean up the lines we don't need. Next, we're going to try a triangle. So we're going to start with the triangle, and then we're going to connect it to the vanishing point. like so. Now you got to think our cutoff line isn't going to be a vertical or horizontal line. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to copy that angle and paste it right there. Those two lines should be parallel. And I'm going to erase the remaining line, revealing that our triangular prism board tent shape. Now we're going to draw a free-form shape and connect it to the vanishing point. Your shape doesn't have to look like mine. Okay, this is just a free-form shape. Have fun with it. Make sure you want to have some edges though. You don't want it to be round. Now, you could make it round, but it's easier at this point to leave the edges so you know where to put the vanishing, the lines to the vanishing point rather. So I'm going to check it with the ruler to see if I see the line, okay? Remember, you don't want to ever draw in front of your shape. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm holding the ruler on a corner, then I'm going to draw up to the vanishing point. Okay, so I'm going to check each corner, each change in direction, see if I see it. Okay, so far this is what I see. Even that one to the left, okay, you'd see that one as well. Okay, so now we're going to do our cutoff lines. Our cutoff lines, once you set the first one, you're going to take the ruler and measure that. Okay, then the rest of your cutoff lines should be that same distance. And they should also be parallel to the edge. So if this one is vertical, that one should also be vertical. Okay, it looks like I'm like at an inch with my cutoff lines. An inch. So I'm just going through measuring it and then copying each line as I cut it off. So I missed one edge, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw to the vanishing point. Notice I do not go through the front of the shape. So that point is basically like a tunnel, I guess it would be under the shape. Now I'm going to erase the lines I don't need. I'm going to set a light source and then decide what the direction of light is so I know where to shade accordingly. So if my light's on the left and going right, this would be the shadow area of this form. Okay. Okay, now what I want you to do is use your creativity, imagination, knowledge that you've learned from shading in the class, and just finish up your drawing. I'm just going to keep on working on these forms, adding more depth to them, more value changes, just to make them more interesting. You can follow me if you want, or you can make up your own. But the one thing you want to do is make sure you're using your vanishing point correctly. Okay, thank you, and enjoy.